the data type and length. So what exactly let's say I want to create a domain for employee data, employee number. So I will create something like emp and zva underscore eno, and I will store the properties as character and length as 10. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm storing the properties to domain that can be in turn be transferred to the database table. Now, same thing we have, we'll be creating ENA and we'll be creating the properties as character and 20. ZVA underscore city or maybe department, and I'll be creating the same properties as character and 15. So these properties have to be completed. These properties have to be entered here, and once they are entered at the domain level, we need to do them at the data element level. So at the data element level, we will be creating something like ZVA underscore ENO. The same thing, name can be same or it can have the different names as well. Now here we'll give properties, means domain plus text. Now what are the texts that are involved is short text, medium text, long text and title. So these are the things we are going to maintain at the data element level. Now there are two stages of it to do it. First, at the domain level, we are just maintaining the data type and length, and at the data element level, we will give the same domain. The moment we give the domain at the data element level, these properties character and tel will automatically appear here. Additionally, we are going to maintain short text, medium text, long text and title at this point of time. But later, what we are going to do is we are going to create few more features at the domain and data element level. So I'll just go ahead with okay, I'll go into SC11, and here I'll first go ahead and create the domain ZVA underscore ENO and then create it, and here it is employee number, data type is character, length is 10. These are the only two properties that I'm planning to create here. Save, and I'll probably save it in my package. I think my package is not there. So let me just quickly create a package that would be useful for me in all the objects that I create. So /o/scat. You can also create your package, and we'll discuss that. Yeah, so we've got this, and here I'll like to create a package with name. This is a package ZVA underscore ENO. ZVA underscore P1 package. This is a package, right? So I'll just create it. So this is Vikramaditya package. Request number, create request, new request for Vikramaditya. So here we have ZVA underscore P1. Now we will just click on save, ZVA underscore P1, say OK, and then we have got this activate, back, ENA, employee name, character 20, save and activate. Then we have department, create, character, length is some 15, save, activate. Okay, done. Now these are the three domains that I created. Now I'm going ahead with the data type and creating the data elements. ZV underscore ENO create data element, employee data, domain is ZV underscore ENO that we just now created. If you observe, when I gave the domain, the moment I gave the domain at the data element level, automatically the properties have come here, and we'll go for the field labels. In the field labels, we'll go for 10, and these are the field labels which will appear as headings later point of time. Employee number, save, activate. Now employee number is done. Now then go for employee name. Employee name, and here we'll go for ZVA underscore ENA, and then field labels 10. So field labels, where they will appear, how they will appear when we are giving this details and all, I'll give you that later, clarity. Employee name, and then I'll give this 25. Okay, so let me explain you what exactly this is the number that I'm giving. The number that I'm giving on the left is the maximum length of this text that I can give. So let's say, and now if I give the length as 5, then I'll be able to enter only 5 characters here, not more than that. Okay, so this is what will happen. Okay, so now if I give the maximum length that I can give for short text is 10, this is 20, this is 30, and this is 45. If you give more than that, let's say here instead of 25 I'll give 50, it will throw an error saying that the maximum length is only 45. Okay, let me just show you that. Error will be there. Okay, I give it as 60. So it says the heading length maximum is 55. It's not 45, 55, sorry. So it cannot be more than that, but it can be less than that. And that much is only the one which we are going to figure it out here. Okay, so once it's been done, employee name, then we'll have something called department. Department. Then we have ZVA underscore DEP. Then fields, we've got this 10, department 20, department 30, department I'll just save. Now at this point of time at the data element level, additionally, other than the properties that is coming from the domain, we are only maintaining the text, but later we can also maintain the further characteristics. Going forward in other projects we are going to do that. Okay, yes, so we'll just go back now and then use these things in the database table. So I'll go for the database table, but one additional thing that I would like to do in the database table is to make the table client specific. Now what do I mean by client specific is, let me just explain you that there will be a server, okay, the development server. Okay, if there is a server in which we will have partitions. See, there will be one place where we have global space, and then we'll have the clients. Clients are 100, 200, and 300. So these are the clients. So these are the clients that we have here. Now, uh, so 100, 200, 300, these are the clients. So client is a partition in our SAP system in the server. Let's say if I maintain some data, okay, here I can maintain data 1, here I can maintain data 2. So I can make different data, I can maintain different data in different clients, but I cannot maintain the table at the client level. I have to maintain the table. Table is always in global level. Means what? If I create a table in 100, it will be visible in 200 and 300. But what I can do is, the best I can do is to hide the data. I can only hide the data. I cannot hide the table. So if I create a table, it will be saved in the global space, and data I can substitute. So now why are we doing this is, let's say in the 100 client ABAPers might be entering the data. In 200 client, the functional people might be entering the data, and 300 will have someone else. So in that way we have client. So how to make a table client specific? So how do we make a table client specific? By making the first field as MANDT. So first field have to be MANDT. So I'll create ZV underscore EMP, create employee data class is A, display maintenance allowed, fields. And why I'm entering these two things also, I'll explain you. Okay, that is also one very important concept, so we'll discuss that. Now here I'll go ahead, and as I told you, like I'll be creating the table with first field as MANDT. The moment I give the first field as MANDT, and the data element name also is MANDT, then automatically this client will come here, and this is CLNT, client data type and length. This will appear, and then we have this ENO, ZV underscore ENO, ENA, ZV underscore ENA, department, ZV underscore DEP. These are the things that we have. Save. In data class we have, so this data class happens to be APPL0. This also I will explain you later why we are doing this. And size category, we should always be giving it as 0 as of now. 1 second. So I'll just save this and then go back. It's getting saved. So once it's been saved, we'll go back and activate this. So there will be warnings that will pop up. I will explain you about the warnings as well. So once we have created a table, we will be able to make an entries, table contents, create entries. So this is like 1000. Employee number is say employee name is home, and then we have department is SAP, and click on save. Okay, now this is what we have, and we can maintain a few more fields here. Create entries. This is 1001 SAP, and save. Okay, then we can make one more last one entry. So we have 3 entries here. So I'll go for 1002, and Then we have got some name here, so save. And this is like we have made three entries. You can go ahead and display entries, table contents, display, and execute. So this is what we have. Now these are three records that we can have, and this is the department, these are the values that we have. Okay, so we successfully created a table and made the entries into it, and then this is a table that we have. Now what are we going to do is we are going to go ahead and create a program on top of it to extract this data to a program level. That we will do later. Okay, so that will come into the SQL statements, wherein we will write a program to get the data from a database table. So those things we'll do later, but right now the the table that we have created happens to be with domain and data element. Now that we have created a database table with domain and data element, we'll go ahead with database tables, header and item tables, okay, with foreign key relation. Database tables with header and item tables with foreign key relation. So we'll create two tables, and these two tables needs to be combined with the foreign key relation. Okay, this is something which we can do, but even before that we'll create database table with fields of type amount and currency. So this is something which you can have. Now we need to observe that any fields of type amount needs to have a complementary field. Amount needs to have a complementary field as currency, and quantity needs to have a complementary field called unit. Now what do I mean by that? And let's take an example. If I say, if I'm talking to 10 different country people, and I'm saying the cost of a product is 100. Now if 10 different countries will have 10 different meanings of 100. Okay, it might be rupees, it might be dollars, it might be it might be dollars, it might be rupees, it might be pounds, whatever it might be. But the quantity for the field of type amount, currency is mandatory, and for the field of type quantity, we need to have, say, something like 10, and then unit is kgs. Okay, 10 liters. So when I say quantity, you need to mention the unit. Without a unit, there is no point. Now if you want to count it as pieces, like you cannot count if you are manufacturing cars, you cannot count cars as kgs or liters, right? We count it as pieces. So for pieces we have a unit called PC in SAP. So here the conclusion is that whenever there are fields of type amount and quantity, we need to use the complementary fields. Without complementary fields it not work. Even in a common sense as well, outside SAP also this doesn't work. Okay, so SAP does not allow us to declare a field of type amount without currency, and does not allow us to create a field of type quantity without unit. These are mandatory. Okay, now let's get started with that. So the idea here is to create a fields of type amount. So I'll give something like salary. Okay, and I'll also enter something like date of joining, salary, and then I'll give something like weight of the employee, Okay, so for date of joining, it will be data type as date. Directly I can give data type as date. Okay, and so in this I will go for something like datum. So there is already a default data element. Now the data elements can be used n number of times. Now here for the first time in data of joining, I'll be using the standard data element. I'm not creating any data element right now. I'll use the standard data element, and I'll show you how to do that. And for salary, I will create a domain for ZVA underscore SEL, and then I will immediately create something like ZVA underscore currency. Okay, the moment I create a field of type ZVA underscore weight, I'll add something like ZVA underscore quantity. Okay, these are complementary fields. Now I'll create domains and data elements for this with the same name most probably. So I'll create a domain and I'll create a domain for this, then I'll create a data element and data element for this, and then these all things will do. Okay, so these are the fields additionally we are doing it. Now what I'll do is employee, I'll just copy this. I'm copying that to item, employee item data. Change. So here I'll remove the department and I'll add date of joining. For date of joining, I'll create something like datum. So datum is already a SAP standard data element. Now what I'm trying to explain here is that once a domain or data element is created, it can be used n number of times in n number of projects or n number of tables. This is what we have. Now datum, and datum we have something like we will go ahead and we'll go ahead with the salary. So for salary, if you remember, we didn't create a data domain or data element. So I'll go in the reverse now. That is called top-down approach. Previously I've gone for bottom-up approach. Now we have a top-down. So what do? I click on this, say yes, and then do you want to create the data element? Yes. Salary, and then we'll go ahead with this one is ZVN. This domain also we didn't create. Again I'll go from here, say yes. Do you want to create it? Yes. I'll double click on it. Do you want to create? Yes. Salary, and here we'll go for data type as. Now here we need to create the data type as CURR, and the length is something like 10. Save. So how do you search for CURR? You can just simply search here in this. Now this is CURR, currency field. Okay, for that the complementary field is CUKY. CUKY is currency field. Okay, now just close this, activate, back, again activate the data. I'm not maintaining the text here. Sometimes we can skip that as well, but it's not preferable to skip. But yeah, so salary, and for salary, as I told you, the complementary field is currency. ZV underscore CURR. Again, I'll go in the top-down approach. Double click on it. This is not preferred because SAP suggests that you first create the domains, then create data elements, and then you come back here. This is what is the process that we have. So let's go ahead with the currency. This is like ZV underscore CURR. It's not existing, so double click on it. CUKY, the length is 5. Okay, so now salary and currency, and then we have quantity. That is weight, right? Employee weight. EWT, employee weight, ZV underscore EWT. This also is not there, so I'll go for double click on it. Yes, weight, yes, and then I'll go for ZV underscore E weight. Double click on this. Do you want to create? Yes. Now we'll go for weight here. So data type is like ZV. No, this is CUKY. Weight, right? Weight quantity. So Weight, right? Quantity means we have something called QUAN. It's already there. QUAN. Length is some 10. And activate. Save and activate. This is active now, and then we'll go with employee weight is over. Then we'll go with quantity. I will say unit. Okay, so we'll just go ahead with weight. Weight is done, and activate, and then we're coming back, and for the weight automatically these properties have been assigned, and the last one use unit. UNT. UNIT is a keyword, so that's the reason I am purposely not using UNIT. So again, here also I can go for reverse. Yes. Unit. ZVA underscore UNT. This is also not existing. Say yes. Yes again. Say again. Unit. So this is something like, now for unit we have to mention the unit here. So there will be a field of type unit. So we'll have a field of type unit here. This is the unit. Say OK, and the length will automatically be defined. No, we have to give 3. It cannot be more than 3. If you give more than 3, it will throw an error. So this is done, unit is done, and now when you go back and save this table, it will throw an error, like technical settings I'll give, anyways it's there, but still normally it would have not given an error, but it will give you a lot of errors. The reason behind this is, for every field of type amount, that is CURR, okay, unit it's not maintained, okay, we have to activate this. Okay, for every field of type amount we have to have a currency, for every field of type quantity we have to have a unit. Those things we can maintain in the currency quantity fields. In this we'll go ahead and create this as ZVA underscore EMP underscore item, and here we need to give this complementary field as this currency. Now what did I do? I copied, if you observe, I copied the table name here. This is the table name, so I can copy this again, and then we'll go for unit, UNT. Save, and then we'll go for fields, activate, warnings, no. This is what we have. Utilities, table contents, create entries. Now you can make an entry, but right now I'll do it later. Now there is only one common field called employee and primary key called employee number. We can also make one more field also as a primary key. So you can have n number of primary keys at the very beginning of the table. Now what do I mean by beginning of the table is, you cannot have the primary key here by leaving some fields here. It needs to be continuous. So once it's been done, this is active, this is okay. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead with, now this is the header table. This is the header table. But then I'm sorry, this is an item table. We need to have a header table for this. So header table also, I'll take the reference from EMP only, and I'll go with this as header. So for these two the tables, if I have to maintain a foreign key relation, I need to go ahead with the item table first, and in this I need to select this employee number, which happens to be the common field between the header and item. So we need to have the foreign key relation. Now why do we need the foreign key relation? Let's understand a scenario. Now you have a employee salary data in one particular screen. Let's say, just imagine that I have 10 employees salary being released. Okay, salary details are there, but that employee data is not there. So there are no employees with that name, but salary is getting released. It shouldn't happen, right? So first, only if we have an employee, for that employee only we should be able to release the salaries or create salary details. Okay, so for salary details can be created only when the employee details are there in the header table. That's the whole idea, right? So that is what we are going to try to do now. We are going to create a dependency. So we will create a foreign key relation, so that like the header table ZVA underscore EMP underscore header. Only if we have records for a particular employee, let's say we have 1000, for 1000 employee we have recorded, only for the 1000 we can make an entry here. For that only we can make an entry here, for only for 1000. We cannot make it for others. This is a rule. Got it? So let's go ahead and do it now. So what we'll do is, like, we will create a dependency, okay, of item table into the header table. So for that, I'll select this field and click on this foreign key relation, and in the foreign key relation we'll go for the table name as ZVA underscore EMP underscore header, not active. Okay, maybe it's not active. We'll just activate it. Header. Okay, now here we have got this one as this is done. And now if you see this foreign key relation, it's done. Okay, this is active, right? Okay, here I'll go for that. Click on this foreign key relation. Now ZVA underscore EMP. So before creating let me just once show you. Before creating it, I can go to utilities, table contents, create entries. Okay, let me just once activate this. This is the item table, right? Utilities, table contents, create entries, and I'll be able to make the entry for 999. Okay, 999. So then we have date. We can select it from the drop down because we have given the datum, right? So automatically it is there. So 5th, then we'll go for salary as 1000, currency as INR, weight as some 1000, unit as something like PC, okay, whatever it might be. Oh, no, no, PC, no, this is kgs. I make it as 60 kgs. Save. I'll be able to happily save this. Okay, it is not checking for dependency. But now once I maintain the foreign key relation, I'll not be able to make entry for any of the tables other than what we have maintained for the foreign key. So I'll just show you that now. I'll maintain this foreign key relation. Generate probably yes. So we'll just go ahead with that, and then select that and copy and activate. This warning, I'll fix it up. Okay, so this is active now. Once the foreign key relation has been established, you will not be able to make an entry for anything like 998. It will not accept, it will throw an error. Okay, these are all perfect, but it will not save. Why it not save? Because there is no entry in the header table. So what I have to do is I have to select it from the existing ones. Oh, there are no records in the header, right? So I'll make an entry in the header table. I'll go with table create entries. I'll go with some 1000 J SAP save. Okay, so this is one record. I'll go with so you can click on reset to create a new record. 1001 Shri, and then SAP save, and one more 1002 Ram and SAP. So this is what we have. Save, and these records are there here. You can go ahead and check table contents, display entries, and here we can see this execution. So we have these records. That's perfect. So we have records for 1000, 1001, 1002. Only for those records we'll be able to make an entry here. So 1000 I can make an entry, save it, it will be successfully saved. 1001 I can make an entry, 1002 I can make an entry, but I cannot make an entry for 1005 because for 1005 we do not have any records in the first table. And this is what will happen. This is what will happen. Fine. So